Welcome back. You're watching Overdrive. Now, Ford was one of the early entrants into the Indian car market, and it did taste success with its icon. But it wasn't until the launch of the Figo last year that Ford really went into overdrive in the Indian car market. So will the new Fiesta build on Ford's India success? Sandeep finds out.
This new 6th generation Fiesta is based on Ford's global B-car platform. It was first launched as a hatchback in 2008, with the Fiesta sedan making its global debut in 2010. A showcase for Ford's new kinetic design language, the Fiesta is a good-looking car, especially from the front, with its slim, stylish headlamps and slot grille. The kinetic theme continues on the flanks with an upwardly sweeping shoulder line, prominent wheel arches, and restrained use of chrome garnishes give it sporty and dynamic looks. It's only when viewed square on that the boot feels like an add-on.
Ford's interiors have always been driver-focused, and in this case, the sportiness comes from some excellent seats. There's some excellent bolstering here, both under thigh and for lumbar support, and it really puts you in a mood to exercise your right foot. But this cabin is not just about sportiness either.
The cabin too has been completely revamped. A new laser-cut center console draws inspiration from mobile phones. The black and silver trim is a welcome departure from the beige that's in vogue in the segment. The seat fabrics get some nice textures, and there is an India-specific rear central armrest, though no rear AC vent. Front legroom is ample, but the back does feel cramped thanks to the narrow glass areas. Goodies include steering-mounted cruise controls and controls for the entertainment system that has aux and USB inputs, as well as Bluetooth connectivity. The big gimmick, however, is a voice control system which actually works.
Radio.
Not just for the audio or phone, but also the climate control.
Temperature 19.5.
Temperature 19.5.
Fan
Fan speed, please.
1.
Fan 1.
Start engine and drive off. Nah, it's not quite got to that stage yet. This still has to be done manually.
In addition to the looks, Ford has also completely revamped the Fiesta's engine lineup. On offer are twin 1.5-litre petrol and diesel units. I got a chance to sample both cars during our drive around Bengaluru, so let's start with the diesel.
The car that's now called the Fiesta Classic is powered by a 1.4-litre oil burner, but for this car, Ford has introduced a new for India and made in India 1.5-litre Duratorq diesel with Bosch fuel injectors. The numbers: 91 PS of power, 204 Newton meters of torque from just 2000 RPM, and a claimed best-in-class ARAI certified mileage of 23.5 kilometers per litre.
The diesel engine produces its max torque at around 2000 RPM, giving the Fiesta a lot of mid-range punch. As a result, you can comfortably stay in second or third gear in most conditions, though there is a bit of turbo lag if the engine drops below its sweet spot. The clutch too feels a tad heavy, and since it's geared tall for maximum fuel efficiency, the diesel Fiesta does leave you wanting more performance to match up to its dynamics, but more on that later. First, here's the Petrol, in a fetching color Ford calls Dynamic Blue.
The Petrol Fiesta also has a new for India engine. In this case, it's a 1.5-litre TIVCT engine. Here we go with the acronyms again. That stands for Twin Independent Variable Camshaft Timing. The engine produces 110 PS of power, 140 Newton meters of torque, and it's mated to a 5-speed manual gearbox.
Though displacement has been downsized from the Fiesta Classic's 1.6-litre Duratec unit, Ford's engineers have added twin-valve timing, a segment first, to boost power and fuel economy. The Petrol Fiesta makes max power at over 6000 RPM and is at its best when given a boot full of revs. The clutch feels distinctly lighter in the petrol variant, and the 5-speed gearboxes on both cars are precise.
I spend a lot of my time driving on the highway, so good steering response and feel at speed is really important to me. At the same time, your steering can't be so stiff that it becomes difficult to maneuver in city conditions, and most manufacturers struggle to find the ideal balance. Ford has tried to do that by replacing its traditional hydraulic power steering system with a new electronic power steering unit with pull drift compensation.
The switch to an electric system allowed Ford to precisely calibrate the steering for easy slow-speed maneuvering while gradually increasing weight and feel as the speedo heads upwards. The result is a car that's very dynamic. The handling is sharp, high-speed stability is impressive, and even though the suspension has been raised for India, ride quality is excellent with very little noise or vibration entering the cabin. In fact, I was left wishing for more powerful engines to really exploit the chassis.
So to sum things up after our quick first drive, the new Fiesta looks good, has a nice interior with some innovative features, though it's a little bit cramped at the back. It's still good fun to drive, and it has 2 brand new power plants. What we don't know is the price and how it'll fare against its competition. And for that, you're going to have to wait for another episode of Overdrive, where we'll get to do a proper comparison test.